And we're back with some more Checking Lions franchise mode. And we're the Stanley Cup champions. I don't know how that happened. But in year number 2 here, on the shoulders of Alexander Wenberg and our rookie sensation, Devin Aronson, who's only an 84 overall and is simulating like a 94, honestly. Like 44 goals in the regular season is rookie year. And then, not to mention the playoffs, 10 goals, 10 assists, 20 points, 1 point shy, I believe, or 2 points shy of the point lead. Just a phenomenal year all around. And the potential of this team, I am very much looking forward to the future. If this is what we already have, I'm ecstatic to know what the future holds, because as we take a look at the progress reports, keep in mind the guys who we have not only on our NHL team currently, but in the system, we have guys like Ralph Stillman, who is a 75 overall medium elite defenseman, Carson Lambos, we have McCutcheon in goal, Bentley, the enforcer defenseman with the 84 offensive awareness, the low elite enforcer defenseman, who seems like he could be a potential all-around stud. It's just crazy how much potential this team has, and we're only in year 2. And not only that, but if you guys remember, we have St. Louis's first round pick, which is looking like a top 5 pick. Just the future of this team is looking insane in a very good way. But nonetheless, of course, the Stanley Cup champions are the Checking Lions, and the Toronto Marlies are the Calder Cup champions. And oh my... I don't even know what to say. Oh my goodness. I've been sitting here in disbelief for a good minute or two. And just how? This is peak GM mode. It doesn't get any better than this. You may as well just click off the video now. It really doesn't get any better. I mean, winning the Stanley Cup, and not only that, but winning the first overall pick in the same year from a pick that we traded for last year. I mean, just like, how can I top that, you know? Wow, that's insane. Okay, so we have our pick here. We get our pick of basically anyone we want. There's Johan Danielson. There is Matty Sallow. All these guys look great. A playmaker and Shane Wright. There's Lambert. There's Wilkinson. What do we really need? There's a couple of power forwards. There's a few playmakers. Defensive defenseman? Yeah, it's defensive defenseman and Zinger. I mean, we have the opportunity to stack up our forward core. I mean, that's just insane. Retirements. Joe Thornton retires with over 1,500 points. Incredible career. Then you have Gaborik, Kessler, Backus, Jokinen, Seabrook, Stafford. Okay, so big decision ahead of us. Unexpected, but I will certainly take it. You have Duclair, who was boosted up to an 87 from his performance from last season. Incredible. I mean, we're already looking like we could have another stellar season up and coming. Nemestikov's up to an 85, Janssen to an 86, Richie, I believe, stayed at an 84. Either that or he was an 83 and he went up to an 84. I don't know, but not much of a difference for Richie. Wenberg is at an 84. Aronson down to an 83? Huh? Okay, I'm guessing that'll reset itself or something after the offseason jump happens, because that makes no sense. After the season that Aronson had. And then Hintz, 83. I don't think that changed. Donato, 82. And as we look at defense, you have Shea, Larson, Foote, McCabe, TVR, and Gunnarsson. And then, of course, you have Bentley and Stillman and Lambos. So once again, the future is bright, very bright for your Checking Lions. It's just a matter of what do I want now. Well, obviously, we're not taking a goaltender with the first overall pick, but just taking a look at if Demko jumped, but it doesn't appear he did. Okay, so the thing is about taking a defenseman, the highest rated defenseman is at 7 as a defensive defenseman. If it was an offensive defenseman, it might be a different story. But I don't feel like wasting my first overall pick on a defensive defenseman, especially since he's ranked 7th. We could take any of these players up here, but to take Zinger, not feeling it. So it's definitely going to be one of these guys. I'm just not sure who to go for because, I mean, there's so many options. There's Danielson, who looks like a solid power forward, no weaknesses. His only A- is in defense. Everything else is an A+ or an A. And then Matty Salo is basically the same, it looks like. A little weaker. Definitely a little weaker than Danielson as far as his grades go. Looks like scheme fit wise, they're essentially the same players. So if I had to choose between Danielson and Salo, I would take Danielson. We could use a solid playmaker. You got Wright and Lambert. Let's see, between Wright and Lambert, they're both NHL ready. I'm not a fan of their grades compared to Danielson. I think I might just take Danielson because he's got the best grades. He's ranked 1st overall. He's a solid power forward who we could rely on in the future, especially get some chemistry with, what's his name, Aronson. So I think Danielson's got to be the pick here. I mean, Wenberg obviously isn't the ideal first-line playmaker, but he did just fine last season with Aronson on his wing. So, you know what I just thought of? Danielson could be the Ritchie replacement. Ritchie was okay last year, but he wasn't stellar. Like, he's not going to make up any part of an elite first line, a truly elite first line. But Danielson on that first line instead of Ritchie, that could be filthy. As far as our defense goes, I mean, once again, I don't feel motivated to take a defensive defenseman ranked 7th with our first overall pick. We could always trade up for that if we want to. But regardless, I'm not taking him with the first overall pick. And that is almost definitely going to be that Danielson guy. So, actually, before I get in the draft, let me just save, just to make sure we don't lose this. All right, so first overall pick time. Let's just call a timeout just to make sure, but I'm pretty sure I know who I'm taking. So let me just do one last look. You got Danielson with 8 goals, 11 assists, plus 16 in 59 games. Then Salo, I like Danielson much better than Salo. And Danielson did that in less ice time as well than Salo per game, but he did play more games. I mean, Shane Wright is obviously very good as a playmaker, but Danielson is almost definitely at least in the low 80s. Taking one more look here. I think it's got to be Danielson, though. Lambert. I would prefer Wright over Lambert, I think, because he has the better shooting category. Although his skating's not as good. Reed Wilkinson. Oh, Reed Wilkinson. He's a playmaker. The winger. 5 goals, 10 assists. Like the grades. Only 5'8", but he does have magic hands, playmaking ability, and offensive creativity. Like the puck skills, like the shooting. I would take Wilkinson over Wright and Lambert and Salo, honestly. So if there's anyone who I'm taking that isn't named Danielson, it'd be Wilkinson for sure. He looks pretty good. And you might honestly be able to turn one of these guys into a center, maybe Danielson into a center. Let's just say hypothetically, we got both Danielson and Wilkinson. Oh, that'd be the trio. That would be the trio. I mean, Salo's a natural center. So I guess if you want Wilkinson, maybe you take Salo to complete the first line of the future. I don't know. Is that something we can do? Trade for the first overall, the 5th overall pick, I meant? We can. And honestly, the Rangers want to trade their 2nd overall pick too. I'm not going to get too greedy here, but we may as well see what they want for it. We could always trade our first for sure. I mean, that's 32nd. I'd include Hakkarainen in this deal because he's only got a 67 offensive awareness as a 72 overall sniper. So now let's try to get something that they would actually want in here. So skaters matching block. It looks like they want mostly NHLers. The only problem is the only players who I want to give up are on one-year deals. I mean, I guess Hintz might be an RFA since he still has value. He had 45 points in the regular season. What he do during the playoffs? I mean, I'm kind of hesitant to trade anybody. He won us the cup, but at the same time, Hintz wasn't exactly a threat in the playoffs. He had 1 goal and 7 assists in 21 games played. Great faceoff percentage. But that's about it. Good hitter as well. So maybe we can include Hintz in this deal. Okay, there's a lot to consider right now, so I'm actually going to take yet another timeout. We could also trade for Tampa's pick at number 5. That would be less expensive for sure. And honestly, I don't think Haig will get the chance to play because not only do we have, the likes of Shea, Larson, Foote ahead of him, but behind him currently, but who soon surpass him, most likely would be the likes of Stillman and Bentley. I don't think Haig will get the chance, so we'll put him on this deal. A nice little bit of value there. So Hintz, the 32nd pick, and Haig for the 5th. If I were Tampa, I would want a little bit more in there. Honestly, Hakkarainen is all over the place. I think the reason his overall is so high is because his wrist shot power is at 98. His deking's at 95. And his discipline's at 89. I mean, I doubt that affects his overall that much. But his acceleration is at 93. Meanwhile, his speed's at 73. He's just all over the place. Defensive awareness is actually insane. 89 defensive awareness and 67 shot blocking, 92 stick check. He's just all over the place. I don't know what to make of him. So I think for that reason, I'm going to include him in this deal. So Hintz, the 32nd, Haig, and Hakkarainen for the 5th. I think that's reasonable. But first, I want to see what happens with the Rangers. So let's say we give them the same package that we gave, or that we would give Tampa. So this looks like it could work. They don't want the first, they don't want Hakkarainen, but they do want Hintz, they do want Haig, and they want to give up the first. Now, would it make sense for the Rangers to do this? I mean, yeah, they have Panarin, they have Lafreniere, they have Kakko, they have Tukio. Who is this guy? Tuomo Tukio. He had 51 assists last year as a playmaker. He was drafted 4th overall in 2021. I mean, they certainly don't need another forward prospect. What about defense? Yeah, they could use another defenseman, but there's not any defenseman in the top 5 anyway who they would be taking. So, honestly, I think this makes sense for them. I think Tampa would need their pick more than the Rangers would, honestly, because they have Kucherov, Stamkos, and Point, who are their core 3, obviously. But after that, it's basically nobody. Even as far as prospects go, they don't have much at forward. And then defensively, they of course have Hedman and Sergachev, and then they have McDonough who's aging, but not much after that. So I don't think it would make sense to trade for Tampa's, but the Rangers definitely make sense here. Actually, just because this is the 2nd overall pick, I'm going to give them one more pick in there. I'll give them a 2nd. I felt kind of bad, honestly, with the initial offer with Hintz, Haig, a 1st, and Hakkarainen. I feel like we had to add at least a 2nd in there. So this should work. Hintz, Haig, a 1st, Hakkarainen, and a 2nd for the 2nd overall pick. Rooney and Blackwell. Proposed trade. Really? Okay, then I'll give you next year's 2nd in addition to Hakkarainen. So Hintz, Haig, a 1st, a 2nd for next year, and Hakkarainen for the 2nd overall pick. Yeah, this is a bit harder than I expected. Calling one more timeout. Yeah, I think I'm getting too greedy with that 2nd overall pick there. I don't think that's going to happen without giving up more than I would want to. So, Danielson, I think you're the man here. Welcome to the Czeching Lions. And he is indeed an 82 overall. Those individual stats looking pretty good. Physical category, very well-rounded. Just well-rounded in general. He's got a shooting category, everything in the low 90s. Offensive awareness is at 84. Puck skills are all in the mid-80s as well. Just really solid all around. Face-off 79, so we could potentially turn him into a center if we have to. So the Rangers, they are going to take Salo. Yep, 80 overall, as I figured. Danielson is better than him. But man, the Rangers, they are set at forward for years to come. And Nashville, they will take Shane Wright. And Columbus, they will take Wilkinson. That's why that's unfortunate. I knew Wilkinson would be the 2nd best player in this draft. And he's, overall wise, he's tied with Danielson. Oh, that's unfortunate. Let's see who Tampa picked. They took Lambert. Yeah, they took Lambert. And then Law was actually a sniper. He went to Buffalo. Zinger is 79 overall. Yeah, I'm not impressed. That wouldn't have been worth trading for. I'm glad I didn't make that trade. And then everyone after, there's Savoie. He went to Chicago, 76 overall. Yeah, I'm happy with this draft. We got our guy in Danielson. Obviously would have liked Wilkinson as well. But I mean, one miracle at a time here, I suppose. So picking at number 32 now, there is Bitts. He's only 2 years away from the NHL. Probably in his low 70s, maybe high 60s. Yeah, let's try for Bitts. Nicholas Bitts. What are you? You are okay, 70 overall, medium top 6 two-way forward. There's Nokalainen, who was supposed to go... Actually, it looks like he's supposed to go this pick at number 59 exactly. And he's 3 years away from the NHL. He's a center, possibly a sniper. Maybe not. I don't know. But we may as well take him. He's also recommended by our scouts, so yeah. See what you are? He is low elite center sniper, 63 overall. Not bad. So another guy I'm interested in here, Jon Loshing, supposed to go 77th, pick 64. So we're kind of at the point where you can start, reaching if you want to. So make pick, and what does he turn out to be? He is medium top 9, 63 overall. That's a bit unfortunate. And a few picks later here at number 70, there's another potential enforcer defenseman. Now, we already have one of these in Mr. Derek Bentley. You know what? Still can't hurt. May as well see what he is. Okay, medium top 6, nothing fantastic. But still, thought I'd try my luck a second time. At this point, I think I'm just going to start taking players from the Czech Republic because there's not much going on anymore in terms of the players who we have uncovered. So, hey Duke, see what you are. Medium bottom 6, unfortunate. And the final pick of the drafts. There wasn't much that was noteworthy in between now and the last time that I actually showed a player on the screen. I think we'll just we'll just go for a Czech-born player. Ulrich Sejkac, I guess that's how that's pronounced. Not entirely sure, but there you go. There's the draft. Our head coach, Steve Morrow, up for renewal. Definitely want to re-sign him for as long as possible. Let's get started with extensions. You have Lyon, who we obviously have to sign because, his name is the team name, after all, so we may as well keep him on our AHL team. Brossoit, you can be released. Kincaid and Demko, I'll get you guys both back. Kincaid, I'll give you 2 years at 1.1. Demko, 4 years is about right for you, and I'll give you 4.2. UFA defenseman, you have Hunt, the legend who lifted the Stanley Cup for us first this past season. But he doesn't want to re-sign. I guess I'll offer him just to see what he says. He might be a good backup defenseman for us again, but I'm not going to overextend too much for him. Gunnarsson, he was solid last year. He was solid. I seem to remember him having good chemistry as well. So I'll give you 1 year at 1.6. TVR, I'll give you 1 year as well at 1.9. And McCabe, you want 3 years at 2.2. Kind of a turnover machine. But he did hit. He did block. That's all I really asked for out of my defensive defenseman. So I guess I'll give him another contract. Not too long, though. Not 3 years. I'll give him 1 for 2.4. RFAs, you have Haig and Larson. Definitely want Larson back. He was a hitter last year for sure. Not too many turnovers. Yeah, I'll definitely get you back. It's just a matter of what length and what salary. I'll give him 3 years at 4.5. Now forwards, you have Lievo, who does not want to re-sign. Nothing impressive. So I think we'll just release him. Hartman, what did you do? I remember some clutch goals in the playoffs. Yeah, 7 goals in the playoffs. Think I can get you for less in free agency. So I think I'll release Hartman for the time being, but if he's affordable in free agency, which he should be, at least for this team, considering we have $43 million in cap space still, I think I want to go back after Ryan Hartman. Camp, he was for our AHL team. May as well re-sign him. If he wants a 2-way deal, yes he does. Bluger, he was on the power play last year, 12 power play points, 34 points in total. What'd you do in the playoffs? 30 hits, 10 points. That's pretty significant. Yeah, I'll give you a contract. I will give you a contract. 2 years at 2.4. Zajac, I would like to get you back if possible because, I mean, that 94 faceoffs is definitely not common. He had a 57% during the regular season, 40 points as well. So he was definitely useful last year. In the playoffs, he had a 51% on faceoffs. What do you do point-wise? 4 points. But still, that faceoff percentage is really valuable. So I think I want to give him another contract, but I think I could get him cheaper in free agency, so I'll release him for right now. Richie, $5 million, 4 years. What does Nemestikov want? 8.3 for 4 years. He had 50 assists, so it's understandable why he wants that kind of money, but we're gonna have to pay him like 8.8, 8.9 for 4 years. It's not like we're short on money, but that's a lot. That's a lot for Nemestikov. Right now, I'll offer Richie. I'll give him, I think he's a 3-year kind of deal. Yeah, I think I like the 3-year deal for Richie. I'll give him 3 years for $5 million. I'm going to hold off on Nemestikov for right now, just to see how much we have left after all this. So Kincaid did not resign. I'll just release him. Oh, right. We still have RFAs for forwards. Amadio, Donato, Elaine. This will get Elaine back for the minors. Amadio, what did you do? You were a replacement, right? Or you were in the AHL, actually. 73 points in the AHL. So useful for the AHL at least. Could be a solid NHL replacement. Hints, I'll give you, yeah, that's a good amount. That's a good amount for you. I'm liking the 3-year deal as well. And I'll give you 3.4. Donato wants 1 year for 2.8. And since you don't want to resign, I'll just give you a little bit more. How about 3.3 for 1 year? May as well give Haig a contract as well. Now, Nemesnikov. We have 19.6 remaining, so we certainly have enough. But if I'm giving you this much money, I think I'm going to take you down to 1 year. And I'll give you 9.25 just for 1 year. I just want to see if he can live up to what he did last year with 50 assists. So I'll do this for him. There you go. So he decided to re-sign. Hope you're worth it. And that is everything for UFAs and RFAs. And now we have to sign Mr. Danielson. Get on the team. So big issue here. Apparently, we don't have enough budget to sign our head coach, Steve Morrow. And I thought I turned budget off. I usually don't play with budget on. And I've gotten 2 notifications now from Steve Morrow, who I've tried to sign. And it says we don't have enough money for him. So, huge problem there. And Baradziuk does not want to re-sign as an assistant coach. He wants to be the head coach. So, that's tough. I want Morrow back. All right, well, I'll figure that out later. For right now, I think I'm going to end this off. It's been a long recording, so the next one we will do free agency and hopefully get to the regular season. So with that, I'll leave you guys off here, and I'll see you guys in the next one.